the gift that keeps on giving. Good afternoon. Notch knows who I am, and they they watched my video and linked it to somebody else. We'll be going over it. It's probably the best day of my life, if we're being honest here. What's up, Mom? Hey, please, everyone, say hi to my mom. All right, hello. Sorry, my dog had to take a fat piss. Oh, what is up? How we doing? Of course there's more. Pyra got community noted. His graph got community noted. We'll be taking a look at that, and then also we've got some Stop Killing Games initiative stuff to go over because they've made a response. The big heavy hitters, the triple A. They've got something to say. I'm foolish. Call Maldavius. Thanks guys for hopping in and calling Maldavius. I'm just gonna call him Thor. I don't care. You're like, his name's Jason. Like, don't call him Thor. It's just a name. I don't care. How you guys doing? How was your afternoon? The pirate slopware season is still in full swing. He can't help himself. Hope you guys liked the video. If any of you watched it, I didn't realize the way I framed. Let me turn this down. I didn't realize the way that I framed it made so many old people upset. Because I literally just said, if you're older, you might know Coney 2012. Because I was 11 years old. I was like 12 years old. Technically, I could have known about it, but I just didn't. Like, I think I was just a little bit behind like the social media age for myself to be like aware of it. Or I just forget. I'm 24. I also forgot to take my meds today, so I'm a bit slow to things. But we've actually got this one structured. We got 3 big things to go over, one of which being Notch, the creator of Minecraft, watched my video, which is gonna be fun. No methylphenidate. Big bummer. Yeah, and everyone's like, God, I feel so old. You said older people. I was like, if I was born in like 99, if I just had another year, I probably would have been like in the understanding of Coney 2012. What's up? I don't like the drama anymore. This is unfortunately a drama channel. We'll be able to cover some of the Stop Killing Game stuff too, which is why I want to include it. I'm going to be essentially recording the video for today during this stream. So 42 here, bearded guy in your Discord. Okay, there we go. You're 26 and had no idea. Okay, I don't feel as dumb now. No, the Helldivers people are dogging on him too. Wait, what do you mean? Also, if you're new here and are on the Discord, if you find stuff while we're streaming, any updates regarding Pirate or Stop Killing Games, anything like relevant like that, go ahead and send it into, I would say, the news links and tag me in it. Hit like an @ and then I'll take a look and see if I can pull it up on stream. But I want to get through my main pieces and then I'll do that. So here, in case you guys need to, this is an 18 and up Discord. That doesn't mean we're posting like NSFW stuff. It's just, I just don't want children in the Discord. I like to swear and not worry about it, you know? Let me put that up. Also, we've had so many people coming to the Discord, so thank you guys. It's been a lot of fun chatting. 26. I only alerted 2012 or 2012 when was when the internet historian video dropped because I'm not American. So I saw that he did a bunch of like he was like plagiarizing other people's videos. That's the only reason I didn't use it. I watched that video and then I had to go watch another one because I was like, I don't want to like at this guy's content if he just plagiarizes. Can we please refer to him as whore? I don't think I'm gonna do that. That implies that he gets bitches. And I'm not one to do that. But Helldivers posting a 1 sec posting link, not spamming. No, you're totally good. I'll take a look here. As an actual software developer, I'm glad people are finally seeing through his ego. Yeah. And that's like, I want to cover. So I saw a video talking about the coding stuff. My thing is like, even with the gentleman who I covered, Slop News Network, it feels weird to include such long points in my video. I'm not trying to rip, you know, content from other creators, which is why I was like, please go sub to him. So I'm going to try to just do more interviews, probably like try to get an interview with the guy who put up that coding one and see if I can just have a conversation with them because I'm not trying to rip his content. What's up, Campino, Bald Theo? I'm a Unity dev and I couldn't even begin to understand his code. That's really funny. Plagiarized everything, but he certainly did on that cave video. Okay, so I didn't know if it was all of them. I wasn't like, I'm not going to try to do a deep dive on his like plagiarism antics, so I didn't want to. I legit don't mind the guy much. People have a right to be wrong, but it's demeanor and how confident he's wrong. It's quite a specimen worth of study. It's just going to be fun watching, holy, so many of you just joined that there's a security like alert on Discord. So there we go. You should pre-watch them, provide timestamps for the video in question so that people interested have to watch the video in question. Yes, but that takes away from mine. So like, I would just rather do small clips. But when like, for instance, Slop News Network, he had really good points that he made. And they needed a longer clip from the video to really show it. Because he did a lot of research about Pirate lying about his COVID-19 illness or lack thereof. And so he went from, not testing positive for COVID for multiple times to having COVID the month before that lasted 9 months during the time he said he didn't have COVID. And then he said, yeah, I lost 2.5 years of development due to COVID. Okay. So that's like, I wanted to include it all because I didn't want to like cut that part up. That was the big deal for me. And still, I even cut the shit out of that part just to get it because he goes through it for like 4 minutes. But let's start off. Thanks for joining the Discord again. If you see stuff, send it into the news links chat or the news links and then just at me on it. So it's one time we approve it. But let's go ahead and get started here. I actually do need to do one more thing. Okay. I'll get this pulled up. I just need to come down here. Sorry, one more thing. All right. And then, okay. Perfect. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So, first thing on the agenda has to do with a very specific tweet from Pirate. So I'm sure you guys know. We had this tweet go out from Pirate here. I do not care, NVIDIA. Thank you, though. So we had this bad boy. Let me see if I can get myself up here. Okay. So this was the most interesting narrative. Oh, shoot. I got to intro my video. Fuck. Pirate software got ratioed by Twitter. I don't know how to intro that. I might have to just insert it afterwards. Pirate software is eating doo-doo batter right now. Okay. Let me think. Yeah. Pirate software got community noted for the graph that he put out showing that he didn't have an impact on the Stop Killing Games initiative. Maybe not. And what is the other thing that I'm covering from him? I keep forgetting it. There it is. And the Stop Killing Games initiative got a response from the big heavy hitters of Europe, the European Video Games Europe. And we got a statement from the head honchos of Video Games Europe. And shocker here, they're scared. So we're going to be covering all that and more. Let's go ahead and dive into it. So the first thing on our agenda, as I was saying earlier, so we've got this bad boy right here. The most interesting narrative is that my videos somehow killed the initiative. This graph shows that the initiative already had a downward trend in interest when my videos dropped. My videos do not seem to have had any impact on the movement at all. Making me the villain did, though. Best of luck with your next steps. Making me the villain did. I guess I'll take credit where I can. And so this is the graph that he put out. And I had actually done a little bit of research myself. And now I want to show you guys the clip from my video where I'd done a bit of digging. Go to this. Is it this one? As much as you guys give me shit for as much as you guys give me shit for having pretty similar thumbnails, it's just as frustrating for me because when I'm trying to actually pull up the clip, it's hard to figure out which video it's from. There we go. Okay, I think I actually found it. Yep, there it is. Okay. So, any impact on the movement at all? Me going over it, making me the villain. So he goes over this part. So I went ahead. Let's do 14 days. So I went ahead and I checked through here. I matched up the view count that he had received for that video to a graph showcasing that time of day. And so you can see this is actually the day before, this little part right here. And I'll actually, the part that I want you guys to listen to is towards the end here when I'm going through this. A downward trend. And you can see it leading down. And then even if we go out, those 15 days or even 10 days here, we can see it goes down to 3,000 a day. So using this graph, I could make the argument that, yeah, after Pirate posted his video, we see it go from 23,000 the day before to 14,000. And it stays going on that downward trend from when he put out his video. Now, I feel like that's just kind of being a bit petty because realistically, you can't really draw that kind of correlation with a graph like that. It's easy to, but with a movement this big, it's hard to make sense of those factors. But after Pirate put out his video, a lot of people, so just that part specifically, right? My biggest issue with that graph is that, My biggest issue with that graph as it stands is it just does not have the data that you need to understand an impact that like a content creator is going to have on signatures like this. Unless it is like a clear, complete instant drop off, it's really hard to make that assumption because there's such a wide range. Like we don't know the majority of Pirate Software's audience. We can't make those assumptions because we don't have those analytics. So even if it was showing like an impact like that, we'd still need to know how his video disseminated to, that region where it would impact those signatures the most and stuff that I'm probably not even covering. So the correlation of the data on this graph is doing a pretty, like, you can't make an understanding of any correlation with that graph to actual impact on the Stop Killing Games initiative. So when, so he got community noted. I know I'm like setting it up that it's irrelevant, but I thought this was really funny. So we look at that, and then this video, because I didn't screenshot this myself because I didn't think it would be deleted. But over here, hold on, sorry. Taking a look right. So right here. So this is from, actually, let me go ahead and shout them out. Oh no, it's Alex. So they made this video, and I'm pulling it from their video here. This was the community note that was added. The creator of the graph has made a graph detailing the first 2 months to correct the OP. And so this was included here. And he actually has that as well. I thought it was a bigger note, but maybe it was just that. And so I went ahead and did a bit of digging on that. Now, the reason it was deleted is the post was deleted by OP. Now, I don't know why the original creator deleted it. He didn't go on to explain why he had deleted it. Welcome to the Quiglets camp. He didn't explain why he deleted it. I went through some of his history. Maybe I missed it. But the graph still stands. I think I have an idea as to why he deleted it, but we'll get there. So, like I said, and also just, shout out, this guy's name is on Reddit, ZCK1. Should we go? We're just gonna, yeah. But so we can take a look at this updated graph that he created. He updated it in regard to, actually, that's why I was showing this. This is in regard to 2 archived live streams that people were able to find. And these happened before his big video talking about the Stop Killing Games initiative. If I actually come back up here. There they are. So he says, the original poster, one of his comments says, what? No, go back. Holy God, thank you for the 25 Nokia. Let's go. Here we go. So he says this here. Let me get it pulled up for you guys. So he says this, ZCK1 replied to this person saying, I found these 2. And these are archives to these 2 different days before his video got released. These were 2 live streams that he had. And we'll have more details on them in here. Actually, should we just... There we go. Let's do that instead. So go here, downloads. Perfect, that'll be better. Now we can actually zoom in on it. So now, thank you very much, Panda. We'll take a look at this here. So this is the new updated graph. So this is the person that created the original one, and they saw that Pirate had used it. He's like, I don't know why he did that, but I went through, he found these 2 archives, so they were on August 2nd and 3rd here, and you can see. And he also includes a little blurb. So Accursed Farms publishes video from European thing. This is how it has its huge spike here. And then that first one here, and the second one, Pirate Software reviews initiative on stream. Clips, view numbers, 1 million plus. That's the estimation because we can't get the numbers since the VODs were deleted. But we can see with this graph that his first one goes on after, after his little spike here, after his spike. Pirate does his first stream, and then he does his second stream, and then it fucking plummets. Look at that little mountain there, man. Drops down all the way from, what is that, 60,000 a day to 10,000. And then it goes up a little bit. Pirate Software publishes video Stop Killing Games, currently 1.3. Fucking beats it down again. Ain't that something? Oh my God, I'm so dumb. I'm gonna have to redo this part. That's so cringe. Okay, so, my bad, my big bulbous forehead was in the way. So, as we can see here, sorry. So I'll start that over. Accursed Farms publishes video European Save Gaming, currently 250K views. So this is the start of the graph. It spikes, downs, goes up again. Pirate Software, and so these two lines here that you're seeing, Pirate Software reviews initiative on stream, clips, views, numbers. The estimation is 1 million plus because we can't see the view numbers because the videos were deleted, the VODs were deleted. But you can see the first one here, we go up, and then the second one here, it astronomically plunges down to 10,000. Look at the difference. Drops down insanely. It starts to climb back up. Pirate Software publishes video, Stop Killing Games, currently 1.3 million. This is like kicking the dude as he's trying to climb back up, trying to get back onto his knees. Pirate just grabs him by his head and throws him down to the curb and drops it back down again. Pirate Software publishes Stop Killing Games 2, currently 570K views. Starts video by saying, the other day I put out a video called Stop Killing Games saying why I wouldn't support the initiative. Overall, it was actually quite positive. The analytics on it show that people really think it's a good idea. There's a huge amount of like ratio. So I think that's a good thing to include as well. But then you see that and it keeps going down. Now you could make the argument with this graph in the same way that he tried to, that, hey, you know, I didn't have an impact on this. You could make the argument with this graph that he very clearly had a negative impact on it. You absolutely could. And it shows up here as well. But my issue is that I still stand by what I said. We don't know Pirate's audience. It's easy to look at this, but given, you know, the speed of the internet and how that works from July, 31st to when he posted his video, the odds are that it lost a lot of steam because they weren't doing cover-up stuff. They weren't doing follow-up stuff. Like Ross wasn't making videos that were hitting everybody's feed. It wasn't going crazy. A drop-off like that happens. Like watch any video game that gets released. It's all the craze. Check Schedule 1, check the Schedule 1 live concurrent players right now compared to when it released in the few weeks after it. Like, you can make that argument anywhere. And I just don't personally feel like we genuinely have, I just don't personally feel that we have enough data to guarantee that we can confirm what it looks like here. I think that he had an impact on the Stop Killing Games initiative. I think it was sizable, but I don't want to use this graph as evidence to support that because I feel like that's me acting in bad faith. Because I already said we shouldn't be able to draw conclusions from this graph just off of this one data set alone. And I stand by that. I don't think it's fair to do so. You guys are free to do what you'd like, but I feel like I need to take this stance because that's what is that called? It's tickling me the wrong way. I feel like I would need more. I'm not a data researcher. I didn't, study math in college. I didn't go to college. So that's kind of where I'm at. Feel free. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If there are any data analysts, in the chat or that show up on the video, I'd love to hear your thoughts because I'm sure you're going to know a bit more than me. But I want to keep it realistic based off of what I've looked into and what I know. The timing is definitely odd. Out of anything that had come out from this, seeing this huge spike after his streams plummeting down is interesting. But I need to keep the same energy as I did when he first released his tweet showing the graph. That is the fairest thing that I could do in this. Pretty sure PS's SGK was the last thing I watched from his channel. Never touched his stuff after that. Did he get swatted again? Not from what I've heard. There's clearly some sort of connection. Potentially. I mean, off of this graph again, you could make a lot of assertions, but moving on from that. So we got through that. That leads me into my favorite little tandem piece. Notch watched my video. The creator of Minecraft watched my video, and he's trending a little bit because he had put something very, very silly out here. Did you know he grew up on 4chan? Yeah, you should be able to take the hate. Can't predict how the graph would have looked without PS's input. Exactly. So, so Notch is kind of going around right now. Let me see if I can. I think I'll just move my thing back here. So Notch posts this. Hey guys, just got back to gaming after a brief break. Wait, why is there a Nepo baby doubling down over there? Which admittedly, like Pirate Software is a self-admitted, like he got his job through nepotism, or I'm sorry, his first job. Listen to your instincts. I appreciate that, Mom. Thank you. So I saw this and I was like, that's really funny. And then this morning I was chatting with some people and they're like, hey, do you know that Notch referenced your video, like tweeted out your video? They were kind of being nice to me because he didn't just like, he was replying to somebody else talking about this. Let me pull that up. There it is. So someone was replying back to him about stuff. Oh, this was like one of his up comments. So he was like, wasn't he hired? Oh, sorry. So he's replying to someone that said, wasn't he hired before anyone knew about the family connection? And then Notch said, are you emotionally invested? And Marcos replied, no, just intellectually. And so Notch replied, here's a clip of him claiming he got the job through nepotism. And this is through me. And admittedly, this feels a bit bad on my side because I'm just now realizing that clip that I showed, I learned about it through Slop News Network. So guys, please, for the love of God, go subscribe to Slop News Network. Hold on. Slop. This guy, he went up. He was at 3K subs last time I checked in on him. What is he at now? He's almost at 10K. Dude, if 300 of you go and sub to him right now, he'll be at 10. Just 300 of you. He had a really good video. Apparently he's coming out with a follow-up one. This is the one where he covered the, let me see here. This is the one where he covered developer examines pirate software, job history, and development hell. So he went really into detail there. You guys aren't, please do it. Get this man to 10K. He's so close, actually. But so that's where I found the clip, was in his video when he did his research of his job, like his job tenure, and all that. Should we refresh? Are we just going to see him pop? Dude, holy shit. 50 you just went immediately. He's at 9.75 now. Dude, that'd be sick. Can we get him to 10? It would also be cool if just most of you already were subbed. Hold on. 9.76. There's 10 more of you. We're gaming, chat. Isn't this like one of those TikTok lives before, like TikTok lives as they refresh, like follow for follow, band for band. Oh, let's go. Well, we got, what is that? That's 70 for him there. Already subbed because of your video? Good. I'm excited to see the next one here. We'll check in after a little bit here. Oh, he's at 9.79 now. Holy hell. Good stuff, guys. Wait, he's actually, what is that? He's like 20 off now? Is that how that works? 7.9? That's awesome. Okay. So, well, thank you guys for helping him out. 9.8. You guys are, what is that? Is that 200 away? That's 200 away. Okay, nice. 100 right up there. There we go. Well, fantastic. Okay, so while we do that, we'll check back in. Let's go ahead and follow up with, it's just part one, yeah. So we'll follow up with, so this comes from Pirate Nation on Twitter. So shout out to him. I'm just pulling it up because he has a very interesting follow-up to it. Matter of fact, I'm going to open this image in a new tab just so we can zoom in on it. Okay. So this comes from Video Games Europe, statement on stop killing games. So they made a reply. Well, actually, this is on April 7th. Huh. This is before this. Interesting. So this wasn't a response to it hitting 1 million signatures. This was just a response here. So we're taking a look here. They say, we appreciate the passion of our community. However, the decision to discontinue online services is multifaceted, never taken lightly, and must be an option for companies when an online experience is no longer commercially viable. We understand that it can be disappointing for players, but when it does happen, the industry ensures that players are given fair notice of the prospective changes in compliance with local consumer protection laws. Private servers are not always a viable alternative option for players, as the protections we put in place to secure players' data, remove illegal content, and combat unsafe community content would not exist and would leave rights holders liable. In addition, many titles are designed from the ground up to be online only. In effect, these proposals would curtail developer choice by making these video games prohibitively expensive to create. We welcome the opportunity to discuss our position with policymakers and those who have led the European Citizens Initiative in the coming months. TLDR, They're quaking in their little booties. Or sorry. Oh, bloody hell, mate. We're fucking scared. That's essentially how they're vibing. So who is a part of this? Right. So Pirate Nation followed this bad boy up. Hold on here. Oh, we should cover that. So sorry. So Pirate Nation replied to this, right? And so this is his original post here. He's been really funny. And we go ahead and check down here. These are the people that are a part of Video Games Europe. You're going to notice big heavy hitters here, or maybe I should do that again. Here, let me open this up in a new tab. You're going to notice some heavy hitters here. It's going to make a lot of sense all of a sudden why this was put together. So here's the chair of Video Games Europe: Warner Brother Games, Epic Games, EA, Electronic Arts, Activision, Microsoft, Nintendo of Europe, Sony Interactive, Take-Two, Matt Spencer, creator of that, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Bandai Namco. Yeah. So, yeah, no shit. No shit these people are scared. Like, are you kidding me? It is literally all of the top people. Of course they would be scared. And that's interesting because in the interview that I did with a game developer, he was saying the same stuff. He was saying exactly what this was going to be. That the follow-up was going to be all of these AAA companies having a lot more fear and expressing a lot more uncertainty and like how this is a bad idea than any indie developer. Any people that you would expect to actually have much more of an issue, especially if this expense thing was a problem. Now, again, there is a conversation to be had. There is definitely some, compromise that is going to be taking place after, we start hearing this, and hopefully it, continues to move forward. But that's kind of the expectation. You need to have this. And you're not getting your car taken away because, the cars aren't profitable anymore. So they just take away your car from you when they're like done supporting that vehicle. You keep the car. You should keep the fucking video game. It's not that hard. And again, it's not like, this live service thing. It's about like allowing us to still play it well after they stop supporting it. There's actually a very funny Reddit post on the Stop Killing Games Reddit that I want to show you guys. That's, it's very telling, I think. It's very, very good example of this. And there are some developers that are, or like game companies that are coming to not the defense, but they aren't, going against the initiative. But let me pull this up here. Where is it? Okay. There we go. No, I don't want to do by new. Where is it? There we go. Here it is. This is my favorite. Private servers are not always a viable option because we needed to be able to remove illegal content, protect our communities. Be honest. Imposing such obligation will raise costs and risk of developing such games, as well as it'll have a chilling effect on game design. Be honest. Such a requirement could lead to community-supported versions of video games competing against official versions, potentially jeopardizing our financial investments. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I've been a huge fan of they're doing a great job on Stop Killing Games. Again, for this video, because I'm covering the Stop Killing Games initiative stuff, those are going to be the top links to those petitions. Again, send them out to anybody you can find, any Englishmen. We're all human for the sake of getting this petition signed. So anyone from the EU, if they're the UK, send them to that petition, everything like that. But again, you'll see those two links at the top. Now, interestingly enough, so we have this. Apparently, we know a few more of the companies that have been lobbying against the Stop Killing Games campaign. We have, apparently, this is from the 41st Precinct, every company that has lobbied against the Stop Killing Games campaign, to the surprise of absolutely no one. We can see the classics: Activision Blizzard, RepDU, I don't know these, Angie, Bandai Namco, EA, like I said, Epic Games, Faceit, which I'm not super happy with as a former and I guess current Rocket League player, Niantic, Microsoft, Netflix, Nintendo, Riot Games, Sega, Roblox, Supercell, unfortunately, damn. Also Poland for some reason. Why Poland, man? And Sony Interactive there. So yeah, and then apparently there's a community note. So just a small correction. There's a community note apparently which states that these companies are part of the group, but have not directly stated support. Happy to stand corrected, but maybe they should be out here making it clear they don't support the statement if it's a false accusation. Silence. We can jump over here. Let's see. Where is it? If you missed. Wait, did I find it earlier? I think these are just from the votes. I don't think he actually, dude, this guy loves Disco Elysium. That's awesome. So I don't think he has any follow-up from that. Let me see. So those are the main ones that we have. So, you know, it's good to see that we're getting a response from these big people because that was the expectation. Also, I'm going to throw Ross's channel in the description too. He's done some follow-up videos. I highly recommend that you guys check them out. I don't want to just like do a react to them because I think it's more important that it gets that natural traffic because it deserves it to keep that momentum moving. How are we at for, what are we at for Slap News Network? 9.85. You guys, good job. He's 150 away from 10K. Good stuff. So the other thing, I think someone just did this to me. I got a link to a video. Apparently Pirate Software is trying to take down videos of smaller creators.
It seems like Pirate Software may have jumped the proverbial.
Pirate, card, but you should, what is this?
My name's Card, and here on my YouTube.
What is this? Valid, harmful, lack of preemptive. These receipts aren't merely Discord. Yep, so I'm not going to be the one letting him easily refute anything. Trust the plan. Do we have proof that this was for sure pirate? Has anyone looked into this at all? I'm not seeing. Oh dang, Creator Clash RIP. I haven't seen anything more about this. I saw a little bit, but I didn't see anything crazy. And then yeah, has anybody seen anything? I don't think there's much past that. I'm at work, so huge big nerd. Okay. He hasn't shown proof yet. He hasn't shown proof yet of his video being taken down by a pirate. He's been striking small creators for years. I thought I heard that wasn't true. I thought I heard that someone was pretending to be pirate and was taking down people's videos. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm the one who sent it. It's my video. So nobody here, do you have evidence of him? Like, is it him? Do you have a screenshot of the, like, whatever, the name of the person that was taking down the video? If you could send that to me on Discord, I'd love to take a look. Laughs and brick to switch to. What'd you miss? Mr. Pirate Software got community noted, and the creator of the original graph that he used to make his defense of the, like, how he didn't have an impact. Well, they updated the graph to show his 2 streams that he had deleted before he made the video. And the graph tells a bit of a different story, which I don't really think in the end that matters, but it's really funny because right after his second stream, the signatures for the daily cumulative signatures fucking plummet. Again, it'll be in the main video that I end up posting from this stream. Usually if you go to the video, it'll say something like this video. Sorry, I'm looking for, did nobody write again? I'm not seeing nobody is writing again. Try to take down my video, LOL, LMAO even. Well, do you have evidence of him taking down your video though? You're getting me excited. It's definitely a little bit of, hold on here. Card versus Leave It to Maldavius. Saw your energy drink and popped a NOS myself. Cheers. Hell yeah. These are these are V8s. Is Ego 9.86. Community noted software What does that not surprise me? So we're not seeing. Well, let me just skim the video that got sent in. What a backdrop. Okay, do we see card posting? He's a content creator. He knew what would happen.
No receipts, and we will address that later in the video.
So he has no receipts. Why would he not post receipts of him getting his shit taken down?
Discord gay ops, which apparently is what.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to cover it if it doesn't have data to back it up. So like unless I see that, I don't want to put stuff in the air or make it seem like there's something when it's nothing, because I'd have to watch this probably off and I'd maybe add it to the video afterwards, but I don't want to gamble. He claims he does. The only thing that may be evidence is card's thumbnail that shows a Discord image. I mean, look, I'm not here to defend Pirate, but those are like, I'm pretty sure you can Google a template for Discord to do what you're talking about. Which, I mean, you can do for anything. I understand that's a bit dismissive. Let me see. Here we go.
Hello there.
Card counting. It's not even data, because it doesn't even include like Pirate's picture next to it. It's just words on a screen. Yeah, that's totally fair. I appreciate you sending it in. I don't think that we have much on there. It's very easy to fake a Discord. Exactly. And also, I mean, this is the thumbnail that we're looking at here. I can show you guys this. Oh, I just missed it. So here it is. You can read it up there. Make sure this guy gets a strike. Then he's a content creator. He knew what would happen. That doesn't even sound like something Pirate would say. He would say something like, what is it? This is the find out time now, bud. This is the find out timeline. Oh, it's July 4th. Oh, I'm dumb. I gotta add this to the video now. Small correction. The Stop Killing Games initiative. Small correction. The games. What is it called? Video Games Europe. Is that what it is? Here it is. Video Games Europe. I'm so dumb. Small correction. You're gonna hear me say that it came out in April. It did not come out in April. It came out July 4th. But I'm a silly little freedom breather myself, an American, and they do things different in the land of, what is that? Crumpets and shreddies. Is that it? Is that for cereal? Shreddies. Whoopsies, oopsie doopsies. Yet again, I can make an apology faster than Pirate, although I think just about anyone here can. There we go. Hold on. Hold on. Interesting. Maybe there's another call, a live call that will take place in the future here. If you're here, guy who I'm messaging right now, yeah, give me some more of his info, and that might end up being a really interesting conversation. Okay, that's really good to know. Did we see any more news links? Okay, so that was the ICE thing. I think that's just about all that we needed to cover for what we needed to here. Let me see. I don't think we have anything new. I think that was just the main stuff to cover. This is probably going to be a much smaller video. Let me double check here. I'm just checking the channels. Okay. So did anybody else have something? I don't want to. Yeah, we're at 9.88K. How much will you pay for me to come on and debate you? I'll defend everything Pirate Software says and does to say. You just reminded me what I missed. Oh my God. I can't believe I forgot about this. So Pirate, did you guys know that it's not doubling down if you're right? I can't believe I forgot about this. Husky, you should. If you know what you're doing here, and if you argue his side correctly and you end up convincing the people here in this chat that he is correct, I think they'll just donate to you. If you win that debate and you defend his points mercilessly, I will personally, every donation I receive from that debate between you and I will send all of it to you. How about that? Here's that deal. I want you to put some chutzpah behind this one. But okay, first, we need to go over something. Anybody here that was there last night that was sending me the clips of Pirate talking about his backing down and the doubling down, please send me those clips. Oh my, I cannot believe I forgot about this. I need to write things down more. Like just relink them in drama if you're here. I can't believe I forgot this. Oh my God, it's so funny, guys. I'm the only one here who's actually visited Blizzard HQ more than a dozen times. Me and Pirate are basically the same, pretty much. Dude, Pirate was on stream yesterday, fucking just like egoing out and spurging out. It's so fucking funny. Unfortunately, and you know, this is awesome. You know, we have a bunch more of you from in the Discord now. The issue with that, matter of fact, I'm going to post these in the drama. People are like, you know, having some really good conversations, but I need to scroll for a fuck ton here just so I can see the clips that got sent to me last night. Hold on here. Oh my God, I was in tears. I can't believe I forgot about this. Hold on, let me pull it up. If someone can find them before me, just link them down below. There we go. Well, I know for a fact I'm better at mage than pirate, so I have that going for me, which is nice. That's not doing much, is it? I think we joked when all that stuff was first hitting the fan that I was, so you should tell them, Mike, that I thought you had told me, I don't know, is anyone here a World of Warcraft player? I thought that he had told me not to get a certain spell that's actually incredibly useful and like very, like it saves your life. And I thought he told me not to get it. So I didn't use it. And I told my friends about that. And I was telling them who Husky StarCraft was. And he was like, are you sure that he said that? The spell Frost Nova. Yeah, I didn't level Frost Nova. And I said it was his idea. And my friend probably thought he was the dumbest motherfucker alive and like was finessing me. And then I had to correct it later down the line. Where is it? Fuck, I can't find it. You guys talk too much. Wait, is it here? No, that's January. Do we have any of it here? Oh, come on. Does anybody have it? What do I search up for it? God, this is annoying. Hold on, I'm sorry, guys. So, okay, I'm gonna go to the top here. I need to find it. I can't keep edging you guys. Hold on. So 12:53 yesterday afternoon. Hey, bro, just wanted to send some love. Really enjoying the videos lately and staying pretty level-headed about the pirate drama. Thank you so much, Tom Morrow. Thank you for the $5. Look at my mana. What do you want me to do for you? No, it's not that. It's from... Is this 2 o'clock today? Damn, you guys talk. Hold on. You guys have been covering other drama stuff too. I'm not giving you shit for that. 11:31 a.m. God, this is from this morning. Okay, I need to keep going back. Thank you so much. Let me give a little heart to that. Thank you. What do you want for me to do for you? Yeah, what do you want me to do for you? What do you expect me to do? It was on cooldown as he double teleports away. That was cinema. Okay, I think we're getting close now. I thought I had gone far enough. I did not go far enough. Literally just fucking moving my mouse wheel. Okay, so we're entering into the next, the prior day here. Oh, okay, we're close, we're close. Wait, is this a new link? Hold on. Maybe this one's good too.
What is this? A random drama channel called Slop News Network made a video claiming all your dev experience is embellished and went through your GitHub. Probs why all of my projects on GitHub are private. I don't. Oh, yes.
This buffoon. Oh, we also got referenced by one of his viewers in a Twitch clip. Oh my God. Okay, I don't even know if this will go in the video, so I'll include it at the end here, but let me jump to. Do we have it? Okay, no, I'm going to pull it up now though. Hold on here. It's such a dumb fucking clip. It's really funny. Okay. It's got to be up here somewhere. Oh, I think I got it.
Basically, is I have the receipts for all of it. I have all the accolades and all the I have, and that's it. Doubling down every time is crazy.
I found it. Okay, this is from, what is this from? This is from yesterday. So yes, this was happening live. Okay, you guys ready? Oh, you guys are gonna love this one. He's like, I have my accolades, people are lying about me, all this stuff. And then he hits us with this.
The accolades and all the accomplishments that I have, and that's it. Doubling down every time is crazy. It's not called doubling down if you're right. Just because someone says you're wrong doesn't mean you are. That's the part that's insane to me. The internet today hates a person who backs down and also hates a person that doesn't back down. It's wild.
That's going to be my intro hook. I am just going to post that clip. Yeah. I was crying laughing. And I was like worried that maybe that had been a clip from like way back, like maybe a couple months ago. That was yesterday. This man, the cope. Oh dear Lord, the cope.
Basically what I've learned through the pictures, I have all the accolades and all the accomplishments that I have, and that's it. Doubling down every time is crazy. It's not called doubling down if you're right. Just because someone says you're wrong doesn't mean you are. That's the part that's insane to me. The internet today.
Oh my God. Okay, actually, if anyone here is a moderator on Discord or can add it, I really want that on the soundboard. If you can please clip that here, I will link the Twitch clip here. Please, I need that on my Discord so bad. Or if you can show me how to do it, I'll do it myself. I'm not trying to just delegate. Oh, the arrogant. If someone can find the clip of the arrogant, I will also check that out. I can't believe it. Actually, yeah, I can. What do I mean? I'm looking at it right now. It's just like, oh, after all of this, after everything that has come out, after everything that has been covered, gone into detail with about everything, the multiple lies through everything, every single video that I've damn near posted this last, 7 days. And all of this amounts to doubling down. It's not doubling down if you're right. It's like people have had to kind of like look between the lines or just kind of like blur their eyes to see the ego. And this is just like, I don't know, what is that called? The culmination, the creme de la creme, the pinnacle of all of his ego surmounting into one singular moment. I'm so happy he said it. And then this was so someone made this. And they put down, so here I'll show you guys. The clip is Quintheo. That is the name of it. And this is the clip. Are you ready to see the funniest thing you've ever seen? This is the funniest joke that Thor has ever told.
I'm such a clown? Well, the only joke I'm telling is you. Tell me about it in the unban request.
One more time. One more time.
I'm such a clown? Well, the only joke I'm telling is you. Tell me about it in the unban request. I'm such a clown? Well, the only joke I'm telling is...
I'm such a clown? Well, the only joke I'm telling is you. That's the shit that the 5th graders would say in the back of the bus when they were stunting on a kindergartner. It's not even good. That's not even good. Tell me about it in the unban request. God, he was so close to landing it and it kind of being a banger. The only joke I'm telling is you. Brother, what? He asked them to tell him his own joke? Yeah, yeah. At this point, I could see Pirate doing math wrong. Hold on. I could see Pirate doing math wrong in class, and then the teacher starts arguing with the teacher about who is right and wrong. No, exactly. It was seriously close to being a good joke. Like, it was like, oh, you're so close. You can guide a horse to water, but you can't make him funny. Like, I don't know. Oh, it was so good. Yeah, God, it just writes itself. Like, I saw this stuff and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Specifically with that, classic slop drama channels. Thank you for the $2. I've seen one man clown show, not a one man circus. Correct. Hold on, what is?
Oh, so why do you have any of that shit? Do you even know how to use GitHub? They're stupid.
He's so mad. We might actually be interviewing Slop News Network. I chatted with him. He's in a bit of a different time zone for me, but we might be able to have him on for a live stream, and I'll add it too, because I just want him to go in detail about the work experience thing that he was calling out. I think that would be useful. Let me see. So, Mr. Husky, are you willing to have a debate with me? Are you willing to emulate pirate software for me so we can butt heads? I should order a devil costume first. That's a good point, actually. That would actually make for a better thing. Is holy topic, is that coverable? Wait, say that again. Is this the only topic that is coverable? No, there's definitely going to be more stuff. This is just what's big right now. I'm definitely focused on the pirate software drama. When that goes away, I might relax for a day. I think there's going to be more that's coming out, but I enjoy covering drama, so you'll be seeing that in full detail again. I might cover Hassan pulling a gun on stream and not getting banned. That might end up turning into a legal thing, and he's choosing to go at it and he's making slanderous claims towards a legal mindset, like an actual lawyer, and not even just an actual lawyer. He's one step above that. He's also an attorney. He has a license to practice. And Hassan is like giving him shit. And he made a video being like, hey, Hassan, you can't do that. Because that is actual slander. And now I'm doing my little public announcement. If you do it again, I can take you to court. I think he was saying that he was not a lawyer. He was literally, which is an actual damaging statement to say to someone who has a license, who has practice. And especially when it's someone who has 40,000 live viewers. So, yeah, I don't know much about the politics. That's usually the issue that I have when I'm covering the Ethan Hassan shit. People will like downvote and give me comments like, oh, this is a right-leaning channel now. Oh, this is a left-leaning channel right now. I enjoy lapping up all this slop drama. The cheap wizard costume. Can you get a cockroach costume? Husky, I think that would be the best. Mine said a fake lawyer and passport bro. Didn't he also call him a MAGA head or something? Here, I'm gonna stop recording that. I'll do like a little bow end to that. Yeah, he did. Cockroach with wizard hat. Yeah, call him far right extremist. Oh yes, a Rumble lawyer. Rumble referencing the lawyers that are on the Rumble live streaming service. And he's like, I don't even have a Rumble account. So yeah, he took it on the chin. Legal mindset was like honestly a lot cooler than he had any need to be.
Every time is crazy. It's not called doubling down if you're right.
Oh, someone already got the soundbite. Just about, Alex. It's just you have that extra second at the beginning.
Crazy. It's not
called doubling down if you're right. That's great. Oh, thank you so much for the $5. Holy shit, I can't afford much, but thanks for being a good dude. Dude, thank you for just spending your time here. Thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by and watching. You need to watch the video with the title I reviewed Pirate Software's code. Oh, yes, we actually should. Okay, let's do that as well. I haven't actually watched this video at all because I'm not a coder myself.
Because literally anything would be better than this.
Hold on one sec.
Guys coding.
I reviewed Pirate Software's code.
Because literally anything would be better than this. What is up, guys? Coding Jesus here. Guys, today we will be doing a code review of a popular YouTuber and streamer by the name of Thor or Pirate Software. Now, why should you care and who the hell is Thor? Well, Thor has been the talk of the town.
Wait, okay. All right. No. Okay, here's the issue with me watching this. I need to do this and stream with somebody who actually knows what the fuck coding is. Maybe I could chat with Jack to do it, but if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to have anything to say. I don't think I'm going to have anything useful to say because I don't know shit about coding, and I would rather just like shout out his thing or have somebody on with me that can actually parse through it and we can have a discussion about it. But you think I will? He explains the code in its entirety. Okay. If he's going to place order for devil costume, this is Husky. This is not Siri. You're going to need to order that yourself. Coding Jesus explains it so layman will understand. Okay. Then we will. Okay. Sorry, I get worked about that because I don't want to take away from his expertise. Okay. All right, let's give it a go.
Town as of recently, as he's been an extremely large streamer that has come out against a pro-consumer movement in the game
said the audio
space
and
called
quality improves
Stop
later,
Killing
too.
Games. Stop Killing Games is an initiative launched by a man named Ross Scott, who is an advocate for consumers in the video game space. The purpose of Stop Killing Games is to prevent publishers from revoking access of games from people who have paid to play those games. There are plenty of examples out there of
So we do have a coder that knows the main the main Stop Killing Games initiative.
publishers that produce games that require online access to play, but once they pull the plug from their servers, consumers now stop having access to those games. The Stop Killing Games movement is looking to advocate on behalf of consumers in order to mandate that game publishers and
Right.
game developers not only what appears to be lied about his experience.
Okay, so he's talking about
but
why
at the
Pirate
very
Software
minimum,
gives
doesn't
the
even have to agree.
explanation.
Gaming
So-
industry for about 20 years. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment, then Amazon Game Studios, and now I own my own studio, Pirate Software, by the same name, which is an indie studio, and I've been here for about 8 years now.
Now, why should you guys listen to me about any of this? Well, I'm a C++ developer with 5 years of experience in the quantitative trading space. I've
So
read
wait, is this guy known as Coding Jesus, or are you guys just saying that yourselves? It is a quiet video. I can try to raise this for you guys.
dozens of books on C++ and over half a dozen books just on C++ design, from influencers in the space to professors to people.
Coding Jesus is his YouTube channel named, as far as I know. He calls himself CJ at the start. CJ has been ripped apart by many experienced devs. What does that mean? So we got a little bit to go through here. There's a few more screens I've seen of PS's code, and it's not very good. A lot of pattern repetition, very little abstraction, too much coupling. Okay.
That also have YouTube channels to time-tested and trusted books. I've read a lot, and while I'm not an authority in C++,
We're getting the audio.
I'm pretty likely to be somebody that can suss out a bad practice if I see one. At least I hope. I also have a bunch of open source contributions in C++ on projects that I find interesting, like Monero. Now, when I was making notes for this video, because I like to come prepared, I thought I'd need to go through dozens of different developer streams. But what I found out really quickly is that I can only find 2 developer streams that Thor actually brings up code on the screen in. And in those developer streams, he, one, does not actually do any coding. The code is just visually there on the screen. And 98% of the actual stream is him looking at his subscribers, looking at his tip jar as to how much money people have sent
Yeah.
him, and also looking at videos about games, but never actually doing any game development in a dev stream. Without further ado, let's actually take a look at some of his code. Alright, so I'm going to be linking these VODs in the description box below.
Okay.
I recommend people actually download
I
these.
mean, it does track. Again, even Slop News Network was covering like the quote unquote progress of what, 6% over, was it 2 years or something?
VODs before he takes them down, because honestly, if I was claiming I'm a game developer with 20 years of experience,
Or was 6% over like 9 months or something like that?
this would be embarrassing to have online. Let's take a look at what's really wrong about this, and I don't even need to be a game dev to understand that. When you look at the code here, what do you see? You see a lot of magic numbers. That's an industry term for numbers that don't have any description or explanation as to what they are or why they exist. And you also have a lot of true or false, which is not descriptive at all. When you look at any function call as another developer, you should understand what's going on without needing to read through the implementation of the actual method itself. So part type sprite, part type size, I don't need to read through that to understand what's being passed to it and what it's doing. But that's not what's going on here. I should need to ask myself, what is this number 1? What is the 0? What does it signify, right? Imagine we have a car object, and I create the car object by passing in 96, 4, false, false. Do you have any idea about what those numbers mean? How I'm initializing that car? You don't. A step above that, a better alternative would be to specify.
Wait, okay, so I'm already perplexed. So, okay, hold on. Maybe he's gonna.
A step above that, a better alternative would be to specify in words what 96 means. For example, unsigned 32-bit integer horsepower equals 96. Number of doors equals 4. Is automatic equals false.
You know, it's really funny. Immediately I start to understand his point because he's fully detailed what the numbers are representing. I see that point. That makes sense. That is kind of funny. Maybe I've just never understood code because it's always been I've been looking at shitty code.
Metric equals false, and then pass that into the construction of car. That is the bare minimum. That's what I would expect.
Actually, I like what Private Parts here said. Does anyone disagree with this? To play devil's advocate, so this is what Private's saying, play devil's advocate, if he has only one coding, if he's the only one coding it, only he has to remember it. Would you agree with that? If it's only him working on it, does it matter?
Out of an intern.
Oh, sorry, my screen went black. I mean, I get the magic number critique, but going to the extent of making incredible amounts of variables doesn't make sense. Only if he's got eidetic memory. Oh, so like even he would start to forget what each of these mean? It's bad practice. I have a shitty memory. Okay. Oh, what's up? Keep watching the video. You got it, Coding Jesus. Thanks for stopping by. It matters. Okay.
That's fresh out of school. Taking that a step further, you can implement a concept called strong typing, which is the most expressive form of instantiation. What we can do in that case is define an alias at the bare minimum or a class, and we can call it horsepower. And then we can create an enumeration for things like transmission or fuel. And then we'd alter the car's constructor and pass in that information. Horsepower 98, door number 4, transmission automatic, fuel gasoline. You don't need to be a game developer to know that that's a lot more maintainable than whatever Thor has here.
Yeah.
Another really good example of that is at 2556. So if we jump there, okay, right here. Alarm 0, alarm 1, alarm 2. What is that? What are those alarms?
It is so much more reassuring that we're asking the same question. I'm just doing it in my head. Okay.
Alarm for person A, an alarm for whatever character, an alarm to do what? It's unexpressive. It's really spaghetti code, in my opinion. Okay, let's go to around 1 hour and 4 minutes. This is also a complete mess for a couple of reasons. First of all, Thor is using the incorrect data types. This isn't even getting to some sort of advanced design or design pattern. It's showing a complete lack of understanding how to represent information in a program. Okay? What do I mean by that? Well, look at question asked equals 0. Question asked, in my opinion, is true or false. Has this question been asked? It should be a Boolean data type. What does 0 mean? Booleans are represented as integers under the hood. So in C++, anything that isn't 0 is true. So 1 is true. But why would you even give another developer the option to write question asked equals 42? In theory, that should be true because anything other than 0 is true. But why even allow somebody to write code that can potentially be that confusing? It's just a no-go. Another thing here that I noticed is the absurd amount of comments. Most of the time, you don't need to write comments in your code. That's because your code should be self-documenting. But there is a 1 to 5% case rate in which you should be writing comments only if your code is extremely complex. And that's not the
So like, again, I feel like really out of my depth. So is the comments, is it just him like leaving post notes for himself or what does that mean? It doesn't need to be C++ for me to know that it's poorly written code. A code is a tool. Best practices still apply. So okay, let's say nobody else is engaging with the code. It's just him. Is it like the same thing as like making sure you're organizing your cables? Like no one else sees the cables with your computer, but having them organized is just like a better practice. In which case, there shouldn't be comments for a function called ser talking saying start conversations. It's too much. Okay, sorry. Weird text are the comments. It's bad language model. It's just not poorly. Yes, but not this much. This isn't good code, but it isn't absolutely horrible code. He's wrong. Your commenting is really good if you have a short attention span or you're working with someone else. So for me, that's coming down to preference more than it is anything else. Because at the end of the day, if Thor's not working with somebody else, like he's only, well, I guess you could make the argument, yeah, it's like it's affecting the people who are playing the game if he's fucking up the coding. But are there a lot of coding errors that people are running into, or like the game breaking, or is it just the lack of him actually getting the fucking game out? Maybe I'm jumping ahead here.
The case here. This is a simple if statement and a simple switch statement. You don't need to add comments here. Having a comment.
Well, maybe I'm jumping the gun too in the sense that like this is more about him acting like he is much more competent at coding as opposed to the reality of it, which is like this is incredibly. You would expect this from someone who's been coding through Khan Academy for half a week and they're putting a game together. Is that more so the point? I feel like maybe I was going down the wrong direction. That's okay. Okay. I was kind of looking in the wrong place. That's fair. Okay.
We have asked the question and question asks equals 1 is totally superfluous, a waste of time, a waste of space. I'm not sure why it was added, if not just to waste time on a dev stream, to spend more time pretending you're coding than watching videos. Okay, let's take a look.
This is the kind of comment you place when you want to make your code look fancy without it doing anything, so it's fluff.
Look at his second stream.
So would these comments, since he's not really like doing much in it, is it like he has to put these comments down now? Because, you know, you guys can make the argument, maybe he's doing it just to make it look more complicated, but he's putting those comments down because like Coding Jesus is saying, he's not properly organizing his wires. If he was properly organizing this and labeling things so that it was easier to understand, he wouldn't need to rely on the comments here, which would also just clean up the code in general.
Stream, because the rest of this stream
I'm hoping I'm getting shit right. I am really trying my best here.
Is reviewing other games.
Okay.
Looking at his
What makes you think AI wrote those comments?
Subscription count. I don't know why he gets so horny looking at this.
Okay.
Watching video games, etc. You guys get the point. Storyline array number. Oh my god. Here he appears to be storing a timeline of events in a flat one-dimensional array with random numbers as the indices in order to represent said event. So literally anything would be an upgrade over what is written here. For example, what he could have done is created a nested structure where all of those
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
As the indices in order to represent said event. An array with random numbers as the indices of events in a flat one-dimensional array with random numbers as the indices.
Okay, sorry.
Here he appears to be storing a timeline of events in a flat one-dimensional array with random numbers as the indices in order to represent said event. So literally...
Sorry. Just choosing a number, he's just giving it essentially a name, but a numbered name for the specific event.
Anything would be an upgrade over what is written here. For example, what he could have done is created a nested structure where all of those default values, instead of being hard-coded and written in some file, can simply be stored in a YAML or configuration file that could be edited outside of the build as to not waste time rebuilding the entire application in a YAML or XML format. That's development 101. You learn it in the first week of your new job as either an intern.
Comments are necessary in 2% of cases when, okay, you shouldn't need a comment on every line he has. Oh, like he has. Okay, I see. Numbered name, a limitation of GML and how objects are declared and used. Okay. Okay.
Or a junior developer. What's even worse is he now also needs to remember what 419 means. So somewhere in his code, he needs to actually add a comment or something to represent what 419 is. As you can see here,
Because at that point, there's no fucking way, especially with all of these numbered things. There's no fucking way, unless this guy is a damn near savant, to know, oh yeah, 201 is that entry to this thing. Or like, oh, it's this event. It's this event. As opposed to, well, isn't it? Okay, wait, no, but they're listing it right here.
Here, I found the file that
Maybe?
contains all these events, which are the association between a magic number and some state. It's very obvious that this can get very unwieldy extremely quickly. As you can see here, he has some number associated with 0, 1, or even 2, and then he needs to detail in a comment what that means. Now, imagine a developer accidentally puts 2 here or 3. Finding, tracking, and solving that bug is really going to be a development nightmare.
Why would that be?
What if you forget?
Why would that be a development nightmare if you can see it in this storyline array? Or like in this area here? If you're still here, Coding Jesus, are you by chance available for like a chat? I feel so out of my depth. It's almost disrespectful that I'm watching your video. I'd love to be able to like speak with you here. My Discord is just all lowercase Quintheo. If you could add me in, and I'll gladly get you pulled up. Thank you. I feel like I'm missing the mark incredibly. I've had a lot of coding people that have showed up recently, and yeah, okay. Let me see. We got 2. Where is it? Call it. Dev roasting your code, it's bad. We're showing up to watch the drama. There we go. Just Quintheo? Yep, all lowercase, just Quintheo. Send that and I'll be able to get it there. Why would he want his game hackable? What does that mean? We'll chat about it, I guess. There we go. Did you send in here? Just all lowercase Quintheo. Here, I'll send it in chat maybe to make that easier. Or if you join the Discord and I see your welcome message, I should be able to add you from there. Or if you get in the Discord, you can see me. I'm online right now. Holy shit, a lot of you have opted in. Okay. It's not working for some reason. Here, send me a Discord invite. I can't find it. I got you. We'll do this. Copy. Okay, here it is. Just do this and type in general that you're coding Jesus. Should work. There we go. Okay, let me see here. There it is. Okay. I found you. Hopefully this is it. Oh, wait, what? Hold on. You have an error. You're not accepting friend requests. We have to become friend. They'll have to add you to become friends. So send me a friend request. It's in the top right corner of the members. I'm under Bald Theo. Goofy Goober. There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, hi.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you perfectly. Okay,
Okay, cool. I also muted the stream.
totally good. Perfect.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, you were a bit confused about like why it's an issue if he
yeah,
associates an event with a number.
right.
Okay, the first thing is mentally, he now needs to track this number throughout every part of his code that's associated with this event. So, cafe, coffee, cold knowledge, 213. Every part of his code that he develops a feature surrounding coffee, cold knowledge, or needs to reference it, he needs to now type 213, which isn't very intuitive if he later needs to change that feature or go back. He needs to figure out what does 213 mean, go back here, look at what it means. That is not only confusing, but it can also slow down the velocity of your development. And as I understand, this game has been in early access for 8 years,
Yeah.
and that stuff like that contributes to this dramatically.
What
Uh,
stops him from just control Fing and typing 213 to go back to that, or if he
well,
like held it in a separate document?
well, nothing really stops him from doing that, but another issue that can lead to bugs is imagine he mistypes 213 as 212 when he's developing a feature for 213. Now he's totally
Mm.
missed a reference to 213. So when he's debugging his code and going through line by line, he just sees 212 and he forgets that it should have been 213. And now he's stuck trying to figure out, why is my game doing the wrong thing? Why is it
So
crashing?
it's just also easier to make fuck ups and then even harder for you to figure out where those fuck ups are because it's all so closely put together.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense. And so it just ends up being an issue with debugging and that making sense. So that organization, it's more like it can impact you much more greatly because I've never I've never even come close to coding, let alone for a game. So having it all bunched up together, although it seems good on this page that we're looking at here in terms of that, but like down the road, you make a fuck
Yeah.
up, it's just like a needle in a haystack now.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not a game dev. I don't know how GML works, but I don't need to be a game dev to understand when I see a bad coding practice. And this is one as well. Another thing that he hasn't considered here, or I don't think has been mentioned, is that if you need to now recompile this, if you need to add another line and change it, having it hard coded as such would require you to rebuild the entire application or the entire game.
Mm.
If this was in a configuration file somewhere in JSON or YAML or even XML, he would not need to rebuild his entire application by just changing state from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. He just edit the config, rerun the application, and that would load the configuration immediately, as opposed to needing to now recompile his entire source code because he's changed a number in an actual code file as opposed to configuration.
Okay.
And I think I get to that later in the video, so I'm gonna take a step back and allow you to
Here,
play it.
yeah, let
and
me
then I'll come
I'll
back in.
stream this here for well, if you want to just sit here, I can stream this onto Discord for you too.
I'm watching it live as well. I'm just
Okay.
gonna unmute the live.
Perfect. Then we'll do that instead.
To type 3 here and it accidentally type 2 and start associating coffee cold knowledge with floor 2 coffee age. Or even worse, in your code somewhere, instead of typing 213, you type 214 and now need to go back
You
and
literally
track
okay.
why your game is
It's got pause
misbehaving.
jammed.
This is extremely poor practice and can get very messy very quickly. Not only that, but this is going to significantly decrease the velocity of your development because you're going to need to jump between the storyline vars file, find the event you want to reference somewhere else in code, and go back to that line that you like to reference the event in. So you're going to constantly need to be jumping between files, forgetting, potentially mistyping, and it's just a recipe for disaster. When it comes to the nested structure, though, tell me what you think is better. What Thor has here, or what I have on screen, which in my opinion is much more expressive. Now this goes.
Okay, so can you run me down what we're looking at right here with once you get to the pause?
Yeah, so what I have here, and this is like a very hyper simple example, just to show you what's a step up above what he should be doing at the bare minimum if I was to expect this to be produced by like a junior developer or an intern.
With the
What
storyline
I'm
array,
looking at
the
here.
419.
Exactly. So
Okay.
instead of that 419 storyline array, which when you look at it, you have no idea what it's referring to. You have to go back to that file, read the comment. What I have here is a much more expressive structure that shows you exactly what you're referring to. So your face is kind of covering that part of the video,
Oh, here,
but
sorry, let me drop it off here.
what you have here is a nested structure that shows the state. Is the cashier angry, right? I'm using false to say, no, he's not angry instead of 0 or 1. And then in a comment, needing to state 0 is yes, 1 is no, and 2 is whatever,
Right.
right? Here I'm, switching or in an if based off of an expressive line of code that immediately tells me what I'm looking at, so I don't need to jump between files, so that I can continue to speed up my development, so that my code's more expressive and readable. Readability is very important. So that's poor readability is a sign of poor coding practices in general.
Okay. And so again, it just kind of contributes to, and I guess I see the point now more where it's like, well, we can also chalk up or attribute more to the slowing down or the lack there of actual progression in his game development over the course of 8 years. You can kind of look to things like this to attribute why it's been so bogged down, because when you start continuing down, all of these bad practices kind of amount to an incredibly, like a snail's pace.
Yeah, I think that's fair. At the same time, I'm kind of struggling to really point it down to, oh, poor readability or poor code design, only because as I went through like 4 of his game dev streams, only 0.1% of each stream actually had code on the screen. And in no stream that I've watched has he even edited a single line of code. So I haven't seen all his code, of course, so I can't tell you if it's all bad practice. But based off these little samples here and there throughout 30 hours of streams, I can tell that the rest of the code, if I was to extrapolate, most likely looks something similar. And if he isn't coding on stream in a dev stream, I don't know what his thought process is, how he thinks about his own code. And so it's hard for me to tell, like, what's the holdup.
Is there
All I can
any
tell
footage
is
of him coding, like legitimately coding?
I've watched a lot of his streams, and I've watched the entire segments of every time he has code on the screen, and I've never seen him type anything in this game dev environment that he has up here. I haven't seen him write a single line of code as he does so in his streams. Maybe there's a little slice, a 3-second slice that I missed, and he can nitpick me on that, but 98% of his game dev streams just seem to be him with Microsoft Paint opening, drawing something, and then watching other video game trailers.
His boxes are really well put together when he like draws them and like draws little arrows and stuff.
Yeah, that stuff didn't really interest me. I was more so interested in the
figured,
code
yeah,
and doing
yeah.
a code review, but I just skipped over a lot of that.
No, totally fair. Okay. Let me continue here. Thank you.
It was beyond simply liking code better. What I have on screen is objectively better because it makes it harder for you and others to make mistakes, and it's a lot clearer as to what's going on. I don't even need to know how this game is designed to understand that whatever he's doing here is not optimal. I also don't need to recommend the most optimal data structure, because literally anything would be better than this. Another thing that's really, really weird is that he's using these numbers to represent people, and now everywhere he writes the number 1 and when it represents a person, he needs to remember that it's Shelly, which is presumably a game character. Imagine removing all these comments. Would you, as a newly added game developer to his game project, have any idea that 1 is Shelly?
Do these comments show up every time that one of these things is listed, or is it just in this one particular file, and then you just have to reference this file or this information every time it shows up?
I'm not sure what the scheme of his comments is. Every line of code seems to be associated with a comment, and in my opinion, the best sorts of comments are ones that don't exist because your code should be self-documenting. Yeah, there's 1 or 2% of cases where the code is so complex that you might need to write a multi-line comment that might include a diagram because it's something that in 3 months' time you're going to go and look back at and need to navigate it, and it might not be as easy by just reading the code. But I'm not entirely sure why he uses the number 1 to represent a character. A character should be represented by an object, and that object should then be referenced in other parts of the code as that character. So you'll soon see kind of a little code snippet that I'm referring to. But representing an entire character that should have sprites and HP and buffs and other animations as just a simple number 1, to me is extremely rudimentary. That doesn't make sense to me.
Sure. I guess the only other confusion I have, so what directly makes it bad practice? So if he were if you were to have Shelly like being listed next to case one, so like, with the number each time, like let's say that's the scheming where he includes it, how would that still be like objectively worse than the code itself, including like or indicating that it's referencing Shelly?
Can you maybe rephrase the question? So you're saying like, why is having one represent Shelly a bad practice?
So why is that a bad practice if he's notating, because we don't know the commenting scheme? Like, let's say that comment shows up wherever he's doing case one, or is that not how that works?
What he can do is an extremely simple upgrade to one, which is if you really wanted one to represent Shelly, he should use an enumeration, which is a simple mapping to like a name or an identifier to a number. And you'll see that later in this video. But
Okay.
typing out one and then needing to write a comment, "This is Shelly," is just like extremely poor practice.
Just wasting time.
Imagine he forgot to comment Shelly. And then later he comes back to his code and looks at one. He'll have no idea who he's referring to.
Okay.
I mean, it does say here SPR Shelly Upwalk, so I guess his variable name here is descriptive enough to know that he is referring to Shelly. But to use a number like this to refer to an entity that's an integral part of your game, to me just seems extremely confusing.
Okay. Fair enough.
You would have no idea. This would never ever be allowed in a production repository. And I've been hinting, it's below what you'd expect of a bottom tier intern. One way to improve this is to write case and then switch on an enumeration. So case character Shelly. That is way, way better to whatever he has here. Another example is at 159. More magic numbers, 32. What does message 32 mean? What does message 65 mean? What does message 97 mean? And what are these dialogue options 2, 5, 6, 0? This is a culmination of my past couple of comments, all in one steaming pile of. Surprisingly, that is all the code that I can find in these game developer streams.
This is the game that I work on. It's called Hardbound. Now understand something. Before I send you this link, do not buy my game.
Okay. So just like, again, I thank you for coming on. Because again, I don't know a lick of it, but like in essence, if I'm correct with this, the biggest issue is that of the coding that you're able to see when he is talking about and like going over his game, all of it is indicative of someone that is not, as he describes himself, that he's worked with coding for the multiple years and like quote unquote game development. You would even expect, even had he not been like actually touching the scripts, but if he had even just been around those people and like taking part in just even making an effort to learn what they're going over, he would have had better coding in this game, or at least even improved it over the last 8 years, as opposed to where it is and what you're looking at in this video.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate. I would say that the practices that he's employed so far are practices that I'd expect from somebody that watched Khan Academy for a week, not somebody that's been working on a project for 8 years, claims to, worked at Blizzard and been around game devs, or at some certain points claimed that he's a game dev. If he just came and said, "This is what I produced, I learned game dev for 1 or 2 weeks, Khan Academy, I spent an hour or two every day," I'd say that's actually good progress. But to come and claim that you're some like authority in the space, that you're this top tier game dev and, this is the code you've produced, to me, there is a massive disconnect between what you say you're capable of based off your background and what you've produced. Does that make sense?
Yes. Would you say in tandem with that, that would, and I'm not asking for like a comment in that type of way, but would you say that this would like also undermine a bit of his credibility when it comes to how he's kind of pushing back against the SKG initiative? Because it doesn't seem like even in his off time working on a video game, it just feels like he wouldn't actually understand, based off of this, the difficulty of what it would be like to, construct a game with like a end of life state in plan if he can't even like cohesively or I guess in like a professional way code his own game.
I'm not sure how he's reasoned himself into his current SKG position and why he's doubled and tripled down. It seems like he's a very much my way or the highway type person. And so if he hasn't reasoned his way into this position, it's going to be hard for me to try to reason myself into his thought process.
That's
so I can't really comment on that. What did surprise me though is, he claims to have been working on this game for so long and he has this game dev background, but even when you go on his public GitHub repository, there's like nothing there to speak towards his experience. You go on any personality or influencer's public GitHub, you should see some open source contributions. You should see some work on something tangible. You can get a sense for how does this person code.
Actually
Even
saw
if
it
it's a project
yesterday.
they spend.
Yeah, he said he privated all of his GitHub work is privated, and he was laughing about it. But
I
sorry,
mean,
that's
I have
relevant
private
to.
GitHub work as well, but I've also contributed to open source projects, right? So if you're passionate about game dev, why not show everybody how great you are by contributing to an open source project? I'm sure there are open source game dev engines out there that you can go ahead and show other people your work. And if you're unashamed of your work, why make them private? Why private something? Why not build something live on screen for your community like I do and then share that repository publicly? It doesn't need to be incredibly amazing. It doesn't need to be some next level game engine that you can now commercially market to hundreds of different companies out there. Make something simple, teach your audience, and then post it online for them to learn from it.
Is there any good, like, is there any other reasons that you would private those, or is it just like to keep it?
You
Or go ahead.
I think when he's saying I made them private, he's saying that because he doesn't actually have anything. So he now has a veneer of plausible deniability. Oh, guys, by the way, I have all this great code that's amazing, but I'm just hiding it because it's too good for your eyes.
Is
It's
there's
too
no other
amazing.
legitimate reason for him to have it private? Like, there's no like I
Listen,
don't want to expose someone's name, or like.
if his private code is his game, I understand that because that's something that he's selling. He's selling his game. He doesn't want people to just take his game, build it themselves, and then not pay him the $10 or whatever he's charging for his game. To me, that makes sense. But if it's just a pet project of yours, why would you not want to make it public and have other people improve on it and build it because you're passionate about it? Right? For example, I
Right.
contribute to a project called Monero, which is a cryptocurrency. That's a public blockchain. It's something that other people want you to build on and to improve and to grow. So if you're really passionate about it, you want to tap into all the minds out there, people smarter than you, to not only
Sure.
help you learn how to build your project, but to also make it better. So that's why I think that he doesn't actually have any project that's privated, short of maybe his game dev code for his current Steam game.
Okay. That makes a hell of a lot more sense now. Okay. Thank you so much for coming in and like helping clarify some shit. I like genuinely I really appreciate it. You're I'm sure you are phenomenal at your stuff. Like, I'm just going to have to take your word, and a lot of people here love you. So yeah, thank you for like actually being able to stop in and chat with me about it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me as well. And I hope that I was able to explain it in a way that was also more digestible for non-technical people. I could have just came on and ripped on his code, but part of my video was also showing you how to improve it. Even if the improvement is marginal improvements to kind of solidify the concept of why his coding practices aren't as great as they should be given his background.
That was my
And his
favorite part
aim
as
for it.
someone who doesn't know a lick of it, because it's more than just you shitting on it. It's like, well, no, this is a legitimate solution to it. And for me, that kind of gives you a bit more like credibility. Obviously, you have it yourself. You've got a pretty sizable channel. A lot of people recognize you. You don't have that from sucking eggs at it. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on, man. I'll fall back.
Awesome. Take care, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah. What a cool fucking guy. That's all. I'm glad he was able to hop on. Yes, sir. Yeah, he's really sick. I just noticed this. Look at these luscious locks. Oh my gosh. What a stud. Okay, I hope. Yeah, I feel like a moron here. Like, there's a lot of coding stuff. A lot of you that have joined the Discord and stuff, much more adept with coding and talking about it. I'm not late to the stream, am I? Just a little bit. But thank you so much for the 5 sec. No, he's fantastic. Did he hit 10K? Did Slop News Network? Are you going to ask him out? I'll have to ask Kate first. Yeah, that is so cool. Okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense. I was kind of going into that being like, well, why are we just ridiculing the code? But it's more like, this is the expectation you would have from someone who has never coded a day in their life, not someone who has spent 8 years coding a game who's talked about the experience of it. I actually saw someone had put like a link to, hold on here. But here's a clip of Angela decompiled the game and went through most of the build. Oh, interesting. I'll have to take a look at that at some point. I don't want to like go through an entire thing again. I feel like, yeah, I need to have a buddy check it out on Discord. But yeah, he debugged. So yeah, it's more so about, it's just very clear that none of this is really adding up. And it's very interesting. A lot of people have said that ChatGPT thing. I like to do the dashes. I know it does the dashes all the time. It would be really fucking funny to find out that pretty much everything has just been AI assisted coding on his side. And does anyone know, is there any clips of Pirate actually coding anything? Like ever? It's not about him never coding. It's about him having no formal training and evidence he and never worked with many others in medium big problem. Well, yeah. Ames, I do a lot of learning with my audience. My channel is about growth and learning, not about bragging. Good fucking man. Pretty sure he didn't work as a game dev at Blizzard. I think he works as a QA person. Doesn't mean he didn't code. Right. If he has to make a change somewhere for some reason, he has to add a number towards the beginning. He has to go through and change every instance. Well, you can do Control F, change all, if you're doing the same number or like the code thing, right? I'm pretty sure. Again, I haven't used like the software for coding. Game on stream. Empire is a low tier quality assurance tester in games. It's dangerous though. Is that dangerous because some things could be labeled the same way? I'm assuming. Okay. I see. Yep. Every number. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that pretty much sums it up. We were able, the Slop News Network hit 10K. Hell yeah. Dubs in the chat. I'm glad he was able to get that. Sort of the find and replace thing. You can catch too much or too little. Right. Okay. This is why you use an IDE with proper refactoring. See that? I wish I was smarter. I've cultivated a lot of people that know much more about it. Maybe I'm gonna have to do a week at Khan Academy to see if I can catch up. What if I made a knockoff Undertale game and got it done before Pirate got his done, and I just, off the dome had to learn it with the help of you guys? Just do an open source gaming project and just see if we can pump it out. Overtale, yeah. I'm still a terrible. That'd be a blast. New studio Slop Dev. Yeah, we'll make some roguelike RPGs. Okay. Well, awesome. You can help me on Chud Logic's Gawkbound. I'm not touching that, brother. I will gladly check it out. I am not touching Gawk now bound. Are there more changes than Thor actually releases instead of hardbound? It's brain loose. That's good. Wait, that goes hard. Okay, well, I don't want to keep you guys here longer than I think you need to. If you guys, again, would like to join the Discord, here is a link to it for you guys. I want to go ahead and get my video recorded so I can get something out for you guys today. Let me go ahead and get this out for you guys one last time. If you guys would like to, feel free. We play games. I just got this chill fishing game so I can chat with you guys and shoot the shit about drama in general. Thank you guys for coming in. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to chat with Coding Jesus. Hope you guys have a good one. And again, if you guys find any useful information in regard to any drama, including drama you just want me to cover, again, this doesn't have to be pirate software stuff. That is not the entirety of my channel. So if you guys find any other new drama that's big, you want me to cover it, send it in the drama channel, send it in the news links, and I will take a look for it. Take a look into it for you guys. Do you have a regular schedule? So I stream. I'm going to try streaming maybe once a week, or if while I'm researching a video, if I want to cover multiple things and try to organize it, like today, for instance. But I am usually trying to post every single day. If I don't have something I feel like is useful to post, I'm not going to, but the last week has been new stuff every single day. There probably will be a little bit of a lull in between this drama and whatever ends up coming up. Usually there's a little bit of a gap. But I've got some commentary videos in general in the pipe work that I'm going to be working on for in case we have those gaps. But yeah, okay. Well, take care of yourselves. You got shit you got to get done. go do said shit. I'm gonna do mine, and I'll chat with you guys later. Have a good one. Have a good one.